Okay, so while y'all coming back in, let me connect this because I'm gonna let y'all hear some of the stuff she was saying. No, I don't want to connect that. And Kyle got this. Okay, now we connecting it. Kyle got this doggone hoverboard trying to connect. Boy, you gonna sit down. Okay, I had to go get me some soda pop. Cause once again, this is another story that play on your emotions. Okay, and we back. And we gonna try to stay on topic because y'all know y'all be running me in all these rabbit holes. Y'all know I like to talk. So, backdrop on the Mitchelle Blair. What's up, Felicia, baby? Okay, now she had a daughter named Stony Blair, and her son name was Stephen. I gotta go see what his last name was. Okay, I got the speaker hooked up so y'all can hear some of the stuff that she was saying. Now the thing with this woman was she had 4 kids. She had 2 girls and 2 boys. Okay, Belle. She had 2 girls and 2 boys. The 2 girls was the oldest and the boys was the youngest. Um, I can't remember what the oldest girl name was at the time I knew. And by the time I go put together y'all a little short video, with my commentary on it, I have all that in there. But then it was Stony, then it was Steven, and then it was dang, the little boy name just slipped my mind because she used to call him something else. But anywho, she was saying that Stony was molesting Stevie and the baby boy. Hey, Kane, Dre, everybody that's coming in. Matthew. She called him Maddie, but his name was Matthew. That was the baby boy. Okay, what you down there laughing at? So she was saying that Stony was basically molesting Steven and Maddie. And Stony had Steven molesting Maddie. Now, to me, I'm not for them mamas that had that favoritism. Don't get me wrong. You might favor one child more than another child. If one child, all right, them Henry, if one child just bad as hell, and you like, ooh, but it seemed like, excuse me, y'all, it seemed like she favored the oldest daughter and the youngest boy the most, whatever the oldest girl name was. But anyway, so she was saying that they was molesting Maddie, and Stoney used to molest Steven and Maddie. And what she did was she killed Stoney. And I'm gonna try to find where she was saying in on her sentencing, where she was saying if she could kill Stoney again, she would kill her all over again. Y'all. Because she really wanted that girl dead, and she was saying that Steven was an accident. She didn't really try to kill Steven, but she had beat him so bad one night, and she was explaining how in her bathroom the water get like really really hot, and she was saying that she took him in there in the bathroom and you remember, Felicia, and was throwing that scalding hot water on his penis until the skin pulled off the penis, everything. And then like after she had beat him like the next morning or whatever, he died in her arms basically. And so she had put them 2 kids in the freezer. Now, this is what I don't understand. I know in Texas, if you don't go to school for like 3 days straight, they sending letters home, they calling, and then if the kid miss like 10, 15 days out of school, they filing a truancy report, the parents going to jail, you know, and all kind of what have you. And this happened in Michigan. I'm not sure if it happened in Detroit or what, but I know it happened in Michigan. So I'm feeling like, what, y'all ain't got no truancy laws over there? Because I feel like the school failed them kids. I feel like the other family members failed them kids, because ain't no way I'm be able to sit here and say, oh, well, Shy gone over there with his daddy people, and he just gone for months that lead on to a year, and y'all don't see me with this baby. Y'all don't see no pictures of this baby. Y'all don't see me going to buy no milk, no shoes, no pampers, no clothes, or nothing for this baby, and just be okay with it. Because my people, them the type of people that'll roll up on you, be like, hey, let me see that baby. You know, because you know, I have my moments where I might not want to be bothered. I might not want to answer the phone or something. And if I do that for like 2 days, I got knocks on the door like, hey, we just trying to check on you, make sure you ain't up in here dead or nothing. You know what I'm saying? I can't even go 2 days. If I don't answer my phone, just say, like my granny gonna call me in the morning. If I don't been to call my granny back within like an hour, or exactly, right. If I'm been to call my granny back in an hour, 2 hours top, she calling my mama, she calling my aunt, she calling whoever she can get a hold to, like, hey, y'all need to go around there and check and make sure she up in there. What's up, Great Day? Anybody seen her? Anybody talk to her or whatever? You know what I'm saying? And they gonna come knocking on this door. Oh, we just making sure you wasn't up in here dead or nothing, you know. And that's just a day. That's just a couple of hours. Cause see, we don't play like that. You know what I'm saying? So for a mama to be able to sit there and play both families, her families and the daddy family and the school, like, I don't understand. Because if she telling the school where they went to stay with my aunt, okay, well, the school should have been had a request for the transcripts or something. Then, okay, if you done told me, well, she with my aunt, then, well, I'm finna call Aunt Billy Joe and see how them kids doing or something. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just finna take your word for it. And hell, if it's your aunt, it's my aunt or my cousin or somebody too. Oh, all right. See, that's why you spoiled now. You be trying to play me. You be trying to play me. That's what you do. You be trying to play me. Because I know you ain't hungry. Because mama just fed you. And you were just laying up here asleep. But you want to be on the camera, don't you? So, I'm finna, I'm going to play the news clip.
The confession. A mom charged with killing 2 of her kids spilled everything to police.
Beatings, torture, and murder. She admitted.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to play the news clip of what they were saying when she confessed about killing the kids. And then I'm going to try to skim through and see when she was talking about how she would kill Stoney all over again.
It's the confession. A mom charged with killing 2 of her kids spilled everything to police.
Beatings, torture, and murder. She admitted to it all, and we do have to warn you, it is graphic and hard to hear.
7 investigator Jim Kirchner is here now with details only on 7, Jim.
Yeah, just when we thought we've heard it all, this is very, very tough to take. An 8-page confession, handwritten. It is Mitchelle Blair's story, and her reasoning is twisted and beyond. She's also said this, confessed in court.
Oh, my light shining right on it.
That's Mitchelle Blair in court last Thursday, where the state is asking the judge to terminate her parental rights to 2 living kids, a 17-year-old daughter and an 8-year-old boy. In her confession, she says she killed 15-year-old Stoney Ann Blair and 8-year-old Stephen Berry because they were harming her youngest son since he was in diapers. She said she asked the kids more questions and then, quote, I went back upstairs and started punching Stephen till he said he would tell the truth. How long has Stephen been in the freezer? I want to say 2 years. How long has Stoney been in the freezer? About 1 year. She died May 25th, but I don't remember the year. It's a blur. When did Stephen die? August 30th. Maybe 2012. In court last week, Blair said Stoney had been harming her youngest son and put poop on his head. Back to the confession, quote, "What exactly did you do to Stephen? Punched everywhere. I choked him. I kicked him." And she described scalding him with hot water in the bathtub. She said he died about a week later and that it was witnessed by 2 kids. The confession continues. At any point, did you contact the police? Yes, just to give them, the kids, a scenario about what would happen. If one sibling is abusing another, they would go to juvenile. Did you call for medical assistance? No. Why not? Because I was scared. After you finished holding him, what did you do with Stephen's body? I wrapped him in his favorite Paul Frank comforter with monkeys on it and put him in the freezer. Did the other kids see you do that? Put Stephen in the freezer? No. What did you do with your daughter, Stoney? I punched her so hard because she was still doing that to the youngest son. The confession moves through time and details are too gruesome for TV. Did she stop breathing at some point? Yes, that's what did it. That's what I did to kill her. Did anyone else witness this? No. What did you do with the body, Stoney's body? I put her in the freezer on top of Stephen. I didn't wrap her with anything. She later showed the living kids the bodies in the freezer. What was their reaction? The daughter was crying a lot. The son, who is now only 8, was just looking at me and said, "You're going to be in trouble." The confession was signed Mitchelle Blair at 6:51 p.m., about 8 hours after her arrest on March 24th. Now, she also said in this, she told anyone who asked about the missing kids that they were living with her aunt, and she told Detroit Public Schools that she dropped them from school because she was moving out of town.
So, I mean, it's...
So, okay, so I thought she had killed Stoney first, but she killed Stoney after Stephen. Now, in her sentencing, she let y'all know that Stephen was an accident. She did not try to kill Stephen. But Stoney, she would kill Stoney again if she could. She said that what really put her over the top, like I said, it's been a long time since this story came out. So I'm just going off of what I know other than, replaying it back for y'all tonight. She was saying that basically what put her over the top with Stoney was that Maddie came and told her that Stoney squares his pad. Yes, Great Dane. Hell, I was disturbed. But say Stoney squares his pad right and dripped the period blood in his mouth. And then I remember she was saying as far as Stephen was saying that Stephen used to get on top of him and, try to hit him in the back. And she was like, she went down there and she told Stephen, "So you fucked your brother. So you fucked your brother." And said that Maddie was saying that he would pee in his eye, but when she realized, said that it was really, he was ejaculating in Maddie's eye. And she was like, she didn't even know that a child that young could ejaculate and stuff like that. And so what I don't get is how she telling everybody that the kids going to stay with the aunt. And she dropped them out of school because she's finna move. Okay, well, Stephen, they say was in the freezer for 2 years. So, and then the girls, because I'm thinking that Stoney and the other girl had the same daddy, and Stephen and Maddie had the same daddy. But if I'm mistaken, the girls, grandmama stayed in the same apartment complex or whatever they were staying in. One of the grandmamas, one of the mamas of the baby daddy stayed literally a couple houses down across the courtyard or some shit. And you mean to tell me that bitch ain't think that much of her grandkids to send a dozen eggs around there, or to buy them an Easter basket, tell them to come get it, or a Christmas gift, and say, come, tell them to come get their Christmas gift, or come eat Thanksgiving dinner or something. And this dead boy been in the freezer for 2 years, and then the other girl was in the freezer for a year, and nobody thought to do a welfare check. And then I remember one of the neighbors was saying that they used to play cards at Michelle's house all the time, and it shook her up because she was like, because the pictures, see in the video, when I do the video, I'm gonna put the pictures up inside the woman's house and everything if y'all don't go and search it up for yourself. But the woman was like, they playing cards right there, and the freezer right there. So in the pictures, like, as soon as you walk through the door, the freezer is like right there, and then to the right, coming in the door, was like the living room and stuff. To the left was like the kitchen and everything, and it was just this little beam that separate the living room and the kitchen, and the freezer was right there up on the beam. So as soon as you walk through the door, you could see the freezer. And it wasn't one of those big old freezers. It was one of those little, I don't know, maybe it's like 2-3 feet across, maybe about 4 feet, 5 feet tall, those little type freezers, because you got some that's like 6 feet long, like I got a big one. And so she had one by half the size of that one that she had the kids in. It wasn't one of them big ones. And the neighbor was like, she was, disturbed because they used to play cards right there, and she was sitting right beside that freezer with them kids' body in it. And I'm like, what was the school at? So for 2 years, you mean to tell me the school didn't call CPS like, well, hey, these kids ain't been to school. We ain't got no request for a new transcript. You telling, who the hell did you tell they were staying with the auntie? Because you couldn't have told another family member that, because they would have called Aunt Josephine and be like, is Stephen and Stoney over there? Because Michelle ass is over here lying. Like, I ain't seen these kids. Like, where was her people at? What did she tell her people? How could you sit there and hide a child for 2 years? That's what I don't understand. So you mean to tell me when she killed Stephen, since she killed him first, because I really thought she killed Stoney first and then killed Stephen. But since she killed him first, well, accidentally killed him, because she admitted that she didn't try to kill that one. And the other kids ain't asking, well, Mom, where's Stephen? Where's Stephen? So you mean to tell me she's saying, well, oh, he gone where they ain't libel. Damn, I done gave the lady ain't about 4 names, huh? But she gone with a libel. And they not, well, can we go? Can we call him and check on him? Like I say, birthday, Christmas, Easter, we black folks, a lot of us still in the tradition to celebrate these pagan holidays. So you mean to tell me even on the holidays, it wasn't no phone calls wanting to speak to these kids and stuff like that? Now, I remember the daddy was saying that he had tried to call and talk to him, but she wouldn't let him talk. She would give him an excuse. And just like I was saying about the whole Gypsy Rose thing, okay, and if you trying to be in that family, in that child life that bad, you can call the police yourself to do a welfare check. Like, hey, we need to do a wellness check over here. I ain't seen my child in 2-3 years. I just got out for lockdown, but I done been out for 8 months. I've been trying to reach out, trying to see my kids. I ain't seen, every time I call, she say they sleep, or they at the park, or they at Aunt Josephine house or something, and you not call and make a complaint. Okay, so let's listen to this one.
Can you talk me through the type of abuse that you had to suffer as a kid?
You mean sexual abuse?
Oh, wait a minute, this ain't the one I was looking for.
That definitely did happen to me. That's why I know exactly how would have grew up. I told my mother what happened to me, and the only thing she said was, it's over with. So what the you want me to do about it? What do you mean what I want you to do? You give it up.
Can you talk me through the type of abuse that you had to suffer as a kid?
That's the same one. It's in the same interview, but that's not the right part. Hold on, because it'll be forever sitting here trying to hold on, let me see if this is it. Shut, what is you doing?
So no. And this is why I say my kids knew better, because I've always told them everything that happened to me. I told them why, because I don't understand why it took me so long to tell mom when I was a kid. You never talked to me about like this, but when I did come to you, you didn't do. So I always made sure I told my kids this. I told them what happened to me, how it happened to me, how it made me feel in detail. And I say, if anybody ever touched it all, you better tell me. They knew. I always talk to my kids about that touching from anybody. So they definitely knew. And this is the part that really gets me. I used to tell her, rape is the worst thing you could do. Just make it. I tell her all the time. They used to make me feel like I was nothing. It made me feel like I wasn't. You turn around and you do that to my son, you knew exactly what she was doing to him. She knew exactly what the fuck she was doing to him.
So ain't the one I'm looking for either.
Man, I don't care what anybody think. She had to go, period. So I damn sure wasn't about to let grow up mad as hell all the damn time, can't trust nobody. When it was just as simple as, you're my mother, do something. Didn't call the police, didn't do. Just said it's over with now. What the you want me to do about it? That's my response. So yeah, that's the problem. And this is what can happen to a kid. When like that goes. That wasn't happening to my son, period. So when I say he got closure, he got it. I know exactly what he was feeling. Even when my son was talking to me about some of the stuff, he would go like this to his face. And he was like, Mom, and it felt so nasty. And that right there, I knew exactly what he was doing. I knew how he was feeling because that's how I used to feel. When he did that, I knew it. There ain't no amount of talking. It was, no. So when you tell me she was a 13-year-old child, okay. Some of the most heinous crimes in this world has been by kids. So I don't want to hear that. That's my family. I don't give a damn what America thinks. But I also want to tell America they can kiss my ass. Don't throw no stones, because they got a whole lot coming their way too.
I know that wasn't funny, but it was.
Why did you take the decision to pile the bodies on top of each other in a freezer?
What do you mean?
Why did you do that?
Well, I only had one deep freezer. I mean, take the decision to pile the bodies on top of each other. Where was she gonna go?
How did you conceivably sleep at night?
I slept well. Of course, at first I cried. It was up because I had to let go of all of that.
I'm doing my best, Mitchelle, to listen to what you're saying. However, I need to know that you also accept that you had a number of other options open to you, other than the extreme violence with which you decided to act.
What do you mean accept it?
You had a number of other options.
There were no other options. I'm not playing crazy. I wasn't in depression. None of that. There's no excuse for rape. Period.
According to police reports, you ordered your eldest daughter to physically lift the body of one of your children.
No, I didn't tell her to lift the body.
Can you imagine?
Talking about.
You want to talk about your surviving children, though, Mitchelle? You did never consider turning yourself in?
If my son told me that he did not want me to go after what happened with Stephen, after I killed son, do you really think I was about to turn myself in because of her? Hell no. No. No.
And you feel no remorse for that?
I would kill him again.
So y'all hear this woman say she would kill him again. And I mean, like, she could have got him removed from the home. I mean, don't get me wrong, because I honestly don't know what I would have done in her situation. Like, I can't even come to think, like, I really don't know, like, what I would have done, to tell you the truth. But I strongly feel like I wouldn't have resorted to murdering my kids. I might have would have, I don't know. I don't know. I can't. What y'all would have done? Like, I don't think y'all would have went as far as killing your kids either. But would y'all have called the police and let them go to the juvenile center? Because I mean, by the time they got 2021 or whatever, or however old you can get out of the juvenile detention center, you would have got out. So they still would have had a little life left, and maybe they would have learned a lesson if she would just call and just had them removed from the home. But scooping so low as to murdering, I don't think I would have mentally been able to do that. You know, I don't think that I would have do that. I feel like something was wrong with her mind, but at the same time, now I'm not defending this lady by a long shot, so I just want to make that clear. But at the same time, as an abused child, I guess it triggered her back to the things that she used to go through being sexually abused. So when her baby boy said his big sister and big brother was doing that to him, it took her to a dark spot or something, and maybe she just snapped and took the anger that she really had for those that done it to her. Because hold on, I don't want to get the stories mixed up because I don't watch a lot of these stories, but if I'm not mistaken, when she was talking about her being assaulted, I'm thinking a woman. Oh, I hope I ain't getting the stories mixed up. Because I'm thinking a woman had done it to her. One of her mama friends had done it to her. And I'm thinking that's what happened. And the mama was saying she don't think that the woman would do that and this and that and the other. But I'm going to put it like this. Ain't no way my child finna come tell me somebody touched them and me not going and investigate it. I wouldn't put nothing past nobody. So if, God forbid, the child come and say, well, Pastor Montgomery tried to rub his finger in my booty hole, I'm finna go check the fuck out of Pastor Montgomery. Like, I'm not finna think that's the pastor at the church and he wouldn't do that and we gonna pray about it, baby. No, I'm finna go bust up in this church. I'm finna stop this sermon and I'm finna speak my piece. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think a child gonna just lie about something like that. And you being a mama, you could tell when your kids are lying. Now the older they get, they might, get a little clever about doing it. But when they young like that, you can tell when a child lying. Like Kyle. When I say, Kyle, you picked up that stuff? Yeah. And I be like, lying? Go get this mess up. You could tell when little kids like that are lying. So if a child come to you and you can see it in their face that this child is traumatized, this child behavior is different. Like, okay, for example, these people next door. This little girl put on Facebook, and this was maybe a month or two ago, and I wanted to come talk about it, but it really wasn't my business, and I know local people watching me and stuff like that, and I don't want to be the one spreading the rumors or anything like that. But the police and stuff got involved, so I'm like, okay, well, there's got to be some truth into this story and everything, because I don't think that they stay over there no more. But I'm thinking that the little boy was gone, and I know this little boy do fucked up shit, because it's the same little boy that broke into my truck and had stole my money out of my truck. So the little girl posted on Facebook something about she was gonna kill herself, and she had took, allegedly, let me say allegedly because I wasn't there, I didn't talk to them, and these supposed to be like my cousins, but I don't fuck with them since the little boy stole my money. So the little girl supposed to been took, a whole bunch of pills to the schoolhouse, and she was gonna kill herself at school. So when the teachers and stuff got involved, and it all boiled down to her brother over there molesting her. And me and one of my god brothers, we was sitting here and we was talking about that type of stuff, because I was saying, something ain't right with them kids. Like that little girl, you could tell, like, when she out there playing with other kids, she just happy go lucky. And then I used to go to the schoolhouse a lot, So like when she in there, she just happy go lucky. But then when they come home and she could be out there playing and that boy can come around that corner, you can see her tense up and she just like go in the house like she don't want to play no more and stuff like that. And I'm like, her whole demeanor changed. You know what I'm saying? And so when it came out about her trying to kill herself because the boy was over there raping her and stuff, you know, and I just would think back to all them times where I would just see this little girl in action and how she was at the school with them kids and then how she was when she got home. You know, that really made me think twice about a lot of the days I seen them out there playing and stuff like that. And I'm saying that little boy walk around here like he really needs some help, but at the same time, me and my brother was talking about the man that, you know, they were saying was messing with him. So if he being messed with, then I feel like that's just a cycle. If he being messed with and he got all that anger and stuff up in him, then of course that's probably natural in his eyes for him to mess with his little sisters and brothers and stuff. It's all some sick shit, and them type of cycles need to be broke. So when she noticed how his eating habits would change, how he wanted to go up in his room and eat, Maddie wanted to go up and eat and stuff, and you know, was playing with his dolls, taking his dolls and humping each other and stuff like that, you know, and you know, you not exposing them to this type of stuff. I understand that TV and the internet and stuff like that is out there, no telling where they seeing this type of stuff, but that's type of stuff that you need to be aware of, you know, and start questioning, start sitting there lurking, like, you know, when your children doing something, like sit back and see, like step up around the corner and listen to these conversations and stay up that extra hour or two and peep in the room and, you know, act like you ain't paying attention and see who's stepping across the room to the other one's room or some shit. You need to be checking that shit out because, you know, I am a firm believer of demonic spirits and stuff. And if that type of spirit is floating around your house, then hell, it ain't got nobody's name on it. So it seemed like it was popping from that little girl to that little boy, to that little girl to that little boy, and messing with that baby boy. And I felt like her as a mother, she should have been more aware to that type of stuff. But don't get me wrong, some mamas, some people just naive to the situation, like, oh, well, that's their sister, oh, that's their brother, they wouldn't do that. And hell, them be the main ones that's molesting the little ones. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that my son would do something like that, not saying he won't, because shit, I don't know. Hell, I done saw here plenty night, Lord, please don't let me be in there, gave birth to some killer kids. You know what I'm saying? So after I found that my son, you know, is watching porn now and then found himself, you know, I have to be more precautious, like, hey, you know, hey, let me make sure, you know, because shit, I don't put nothing past nobody, and I'm overprotective of Kyle because of some shit that she done already went through. You know what I'm saying? So me, I'm gonna be on P's and Q's and X's and Y's and Z's about that type of shit, you know? And I feel like we all should, just because, oh, well, that's their sister, oh, well, that's their brother, you can't let that shit slide because it might not be Mr. Lawrence down the road doing this type of shit to your kids. It might not be Peg and Sue that come play cards and go into the bathroom and slip across the room, the hallway to your child room and do shit like that. It could be, you know, shit in your own house. How many families y'all done seen where these little girls that had babies by their daddy and stuff, they uncles and stuff? This shit starts at home. This shit is mainly, you know, when little kids are molested, those are family members doing this shit. People that you trusting to watch your kids while you go to work, you know, that's doing this type of shit. So I feel like when she noticed that the behaviors of these kids changed, her behavior should have changed. She should have been more on point with it. And then, like I say, again, I don't understand what a family was, what a school was. Because for one, that boy that missed 2 years out of school, that bitch should have been locked up for truancy. Like, it should have been some truancy charges brought against her. Well, man, we ain't got no transcript. Ma'am, your kids done been absent. They ain't did no testing. You ain't signed them up for homeschool or none of the above. CPS should have been called. Something. Young man, would you not make this a soft porn edition? Can you let go of my shirt, please? Thank you. Thank you kindly. So what do y'all think about that? Because I feel like they really, really dropped the ball on these kids. Hold on, I done clicked out of where she was. And then I'm like, okay, so where the oldest child was? You know, because from my understanding, the oldest child was doing a lot of the babysitting. So where did Stoney get that behavior from? And I think the oldest child name was Gabrielle, if I ain't mistaken. And then I just seen the picture. So she did kind of have a big freezer, but I thought she had one of the little mini freezers. So she did have like one of them big standard size freezers. But like I said, I'm going to do the little video and put all that in the video. But I'm like, okay, so where was the oldest girl when them other two was in there messing with the little boy? And where did they get that behavior from? Like, did somebody mess with Stoney to give her the idea that this is okay to do this? Because shit like that just don't pop up in your mind overnight. You know what I'm saying? You gotta then seen somebody do this. Somebody nigga had to do this to you or something for you to do this to somebody else. Because in my opinion, it just don't happen like that. So where the hell was she? And then, you know, you really didn't hear nothing about her. So I always wondered, like, well, damn, did she mess with the other girl? Or was she having boys and stuff over while the mama was gone to work or gone to play cards or gone wherever she was gone to the grocery store? Did she have little boys in there and then Stoney seen it and want to go try with Steve and them? Like, what the fuck was really going on? Because Michelle was like, one day, Maddie was in there with the Dials and say the oldest girl coming there like, mama, look what Maddie doing with the Dials. So where the hell would, you know, why didn't she say something? You know, like, Maddie, that's where you get that from? Because I know that, you know, I had cousins and stuff that was older than me that I would talk to before I went to my mama and them, because I feel like they was more my age. They understood, you know, the things that was going on. We felt like them was old folks. They ain't gonna understand and stuff like that. So I would go talk to my older cousins and stuff about things that I was scared to talk to my mama, my grandmama, my auntie or whatever about. So I would feel that, you know, they would have opened up a little bit more to her unless they were scared of her. Give me this thing, boy. You know? So, like, what role did she play into that? That's what I don't get. Ooh, somebody want to come babysit? What we do? We cut the thing off, Shy? Hold on, some kind of way we done got disconnected. Because I'm going to play some more of her thing, of her sentencing. Play some of her sentencing. And then I'm going to let y'all go. Because Shy ain't going to let me be great for a day. Hold on. I got to see what happened. Why did we disconnect? Shy, why don't you get down here and sit down? Okay. Now let's go. I'm going to speed up in here a little bit and let y'all hear a little more.
Duke is still my son, and I'm not gonna listen to you talk to him about. That's your granddaughter, and she coming to you about your son. And now they want to lie and say that I kept him away. I am the one that was always calling Duke. That's his nickname. Duke, come see Gabby and Stoney. Duke, come do this. Duke, come do this. Would he come? No. Half the time he was drunk. You get what I'm saying? I am the only one throughout both these cases. I haven't lied about anything. As horrendous as everybody think I am, that's fine. But I'm the only one that's not lying about anything. And that doesn't even make sense in any type of world that they would allow. What type of real man gonna let somebody keep them from their kids?
That's what I
And
was
what
saying.
I don't understand, what they don't understand about is we have a surviving daughter. Gabrielle is witness to me always calling, Duke, come see the kids. Duke, even their mother, Linda Dorsey, she never did anything for the kids. She never came to see them. She never did anything. My daughter even called one year to talk to her about Duke and his drinking. She tired of every time he come over, he drunk. And when he comes, it's just, hey, baby, spilling over, just drunk, just stupid. You get what I'm saying?
I'm gonna go fix
As a
him a
grandmother,
bottle
you
while
would
y'all
think that she
listen
would
to
talk to her
this.
granddaughter. The only thing, my daughter put it on speakerphone. The only thing that grandmother had to say was, well, baby, I'm going to let you go because Duke is still my son and I'm not going to listen to you talk to him about. That's your granddaughter and she coming to you about your son. That's all you had to offer her. You get what I'm saying? From the time I lived in that house, what they're not saying is, they used to always go over there. I kept you away. What was the change? They used to go over there all the time. What stopped and what they all know to be true is Alexander Dorsey's father, Alexander Sr., they say he molested Brianna. That is his other granddaughter, okay? So in 2006, when my daughter Gabrielle came home and told me that he was laying in their room on the floor by their bed, they never went back again. That's what stopped every visit to their house in 2006. I never sent them back there again because of that reason. But I never kept them away from them. Y'all can come see them anytime you want to. You see what I'm saying? And also, Alexander Dorsey could not accept the fact that I moved on, period. I had other kids. He has his ex-girlfriend, Michelle Barnett, lying in court, saying they brought diapers. The first time that Michelle Barnett laid eyes on my daughters was in, 2005? They were 6 and 8, which means they were well out of diapers. They're talking about food and money. Come on, now. They did nothing.
We're getting off track here. And I know you're very resentful of the father, so this is really...
Yes, because I'm not trying to blame any of the actions that the kids did on the fathers. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
My whole thing is, tell the truth. Y'all wasn't there. This whole family, I'm seeing faces that I ain't seen in years. They don't know Stoney. When they asked him in court, what is your daughter Stoney wanted to be when she grew up? He says she just wanted the world. That's a typical answer for a father who knew nothing about what she wanted to be when she grew up. He knew nothing about her. They know that he's a pissy drunk. They do nothing. And for Tracy Dorsey to be sitting in this courtroom, this is the same female that I felt like I had to get out that house. We all had babies 2 months apart. You used to steal her. You love your niece, but you used to steal her milk. You used to steal her milk and water it down when I told you can have it, though. You get what I'm saying? So, yes, that is why I left that household. I couldn't stay there.
Again,
they were pathetic.
This is a purpose of you speaking now is to discuss
okay.
what you did, if you want
yes,
to.
Yes, because that happened. You get what I'm saying? In my son's forensic kids talk interview, you hear him tell them what they did to him. So,
okay.
And Alexander Dorsey.
Okay. So, I was just asking, like, what was Gabrielle like when this was going on? Was she, doing this? Okay. So, see, I had forgot about her saying that the granddaddy used to molest one of their cousins. So, could it be possible that the granddaddy really did mess with, she called her Gabrielle, whatever, mess with her, and there was something that messed that girl up, and she started messing with the younger siblings? Could that be a possibility? Because it had to start somewhere, and maybe she don't want to get up there and just point the fingers, but I feel like, hey, you've been told that he didn't mess with this girl. Who's to say he didn't mess with that girl? And if he was laying in the room with both of them, then they both was a victim to some type of sexual abuse. Whether he was just standing in the corner watching them sleep while he was fondling himself or anything, I don't know. But, maybe that's answering the question that I asked earlier. Could that have been the case? Because I'm wondering, like, how did the oldest girl just sit there and let that happen.
Ms. Blair,
So let's scroll up into this one a little bit.
You over the years, and I'm like, that's what was wrong with you. He'll use the bathroom and say, Mom, my butt hurts when I poop. I don't know. So I started giving him 100% juice to make his stool softer, maybe to help him use the bathroom. That wasn't the problem. It wasn't his stool. It was that he was being raped. Okay? My son looked me in my eyes, and he gave me a very detailed account of everything they did. Was not a violent boy. He is a very sweet little boy. So for him to stand there and look at me and say, do it again, he was hurting. You know?
okay.
At a certain point, I told him to stop talking. I said, Stoney, you tell me what I did to my son. And I said, if you say anything that's not right, tell me. She started telling me many things. And I also asked her, so why didn't Stephen tell me that when I asked him, did anybody do this to him? Why didn't he tell me that you did it to him? Because Stoney was going upstairs, beating Stephen's ass, threatening him. Basically, at a certain point, after I was hitting Stephen, I didn't want to look at him. I didn't want to look at him. So I told him to go to his room. When it came time to eat, I didn't want to take no food up. So I sent Stoney up because she volunteered, not knowing at that time that Stoney was raping either of them. But every time she went upstairs, I wouldn't have known if she hit him or not because I had put many bruises on him. So every time she went upstairs, she admitted to me that she was hitting him also, knocking the hell out of him, telling him, you better not tell her nothing. You get what I'm saying?
But the thing is, when you hit little kids' natural reaction is going to be to holler. So how come when she went upstairs and the girl was hitting on the boy, she didn't hear none of that? Because I ain't never seen a child, including myself, that just stood there and took an ass whooping. Kids trying to squirm and kick and scream to get away. So how come when Stoney was up there beating the hell out of Steven, she didn't hear it? You know, it make me think, I don't know. Like, was she high or something and just didn't give a damn? Like, what? Because I don't understand that part. How, what? Like, what? What, did they cut the music up loud or something? Like, what? I don't get that part.
When she admitted these things to you, were you always being physical with her?
The first time, no. We were sitting there.
Okay.
She denied it constantly. I'm like, Stoney, you better tell me. Sitting here, he don't know nothing about it. He constantly, you get what I'm saying? Who would admit that? Who would admit that if they did not do it?
All right, tell me what happened to Stephen.
Basically the same thing. Can I ask you a question first? The people standing behind me, this woman who just asked the question, is she trying to make it seem like this did not happen?
No. We just have to have a clear record.
Okay.
This is your time to talk. Go ahead.
All we're trying to do is just make sure that the record is clear.
Oh, her lawyer was getting on my nerves. Like, remembering that he used to lean over and do that mess. He used to get on my nerves.
Ma'am, this is just you choosing to plead guilty. The people do not have any sort of plea agreement.
Yeah, because, you know, it's like I'm willing to take a polygraph test. It's like, because I understand people don't want to hear me, period, but I'm going to take it on
I'm listening to
everything.
you. Tell me what happened to Stephen.
I came home one day. My daughter, my oldest, met me at the door, and she's like, Mom, come see with his dials. And I'm like, what is he doing? He was making one dial, his little wrestle man, hump on top of the other. You know, I'm like, why was you doing that? I said, anybody ever do this to you? He said, no. I said, then why are you doing that? And he said, yes, Stephen did. And I was like, so this is the first I'm hearing about that, period. This was 9 months before Stoney. Okay, Stoney wasn't downstairs, and she was always in the background. I wish to God I had questioned everybody together, but I didn't.
Would you say this was around August 30th, 2012?
No, this was before August 30th. August 30th is when he died. This was maybe a week and a half.
Before he died?
Yes.
Okay. So that, you that set off some action?
Yes, I went upstairs because Stephen was upstairs and and I went upstairs.
This is really a very, very, very sad story.
She was humping on him. And then Stephen stood up and he looked at me, and right then I could tell something was wrong in his face because he was just like this. Any normal kid, I know my kid would have been like, what? That's not what he did. He stood up and looked at me like he had lost his mind.
See, that's what I'm saying. You could tell when little kids their age is lying.
In my head, period. But I asked him, I said, Stephen, tell me the truth. Was you humping her? He said, yes, but that was all. And I said, did you hump on him with your underwear off? He said, no. He yelled out, yes, he did. And I just remember going in the hallway, walking back and forth, like, and I walked back up and I was like, you your brother? You get what I'm saying? You your brother. So I'm looking at them too. I'm looking at them like, what? I can't understand. So I start punching Steven. You know, I'm like, what the you doing to him? I just start asking him questions. At this point, it's just spilling out. He's just spilling out. And mom, and he's doing like this, and he do this thing almost every night. He tell me how he was, the reason I put bags over Steven's head is because I thought he in the bed. My son was never a bedwetter. Didn't know it was Steven waking up every morning, pissing on like he was a damn piece of shit. Okay? They had bunk beds. Steven would get out the bed in the middle of the night. You would rape him in his own bed. You would pee on him instead of going to the bathroom. I'm waking up every morning thinking he's a bedwetter. So we just wash him up and going, you a bedwetter.
Let's talk about what you did to Steven.
The reason I put bags over Steven's head is because my son told me that the plastic on his bed, because I thought he was a bedwetter, he said, sometimes, Mom, I couldn't breathe. Steven was laying on me, and he had my face down, and the plastic on the bed, I couldn't breathe, and he was humping on my butt like a basketball. That's when I got a garbage bag and started putting it over Steven's head, and I started asking him, bitch, you know what I'm saying? You see what this feel like? You can't breathe? You stop my... That's my son. You could not breathe on top of getting raped. You was 6 years old at the time. You get what I'm saying? So I put the bags over his head. He lost consciousness. I did that a couple times. He told me that would be face down. He had stuff around his neck. So I grabbed Steven and I grabbed a belt and I put a belt around his neck and I lifted him up like, do you like how this feels, being choked with a belt? So I dropped him. I held him up until he lost consciousness as well.
You were intending to...
No, I did not intend to kill Steven.
No, I'm not. Listen to my question. You were intending to inflict serious physical harm, but not kill him.
Definitely.
Okay. Did you also punch him?
Yes, I did. Multiple times.
Him?
Yes, I did.
You talked about choking him. Did you also burn him?
Yes, I did.
Okay, how did you do that?
Hot water, scalding hot water. In our bathroom, the hot water gets extremely hot. So, his private area, I stood him in the bathtub naked. You my son with Joe, you know? So yes, I threw hot water in his genital area multiple times. Every time Steven peed in my son's eyes. He put his in his ears, his nose. He peed. He even told me one time, Mom, and in my eyes, it was gooey, but it wasn't pee. And right then, it was like, I didn't even know a 9-year-old could ejaculate. You get what I'm saying? So not only did you do that, you did it in my son's eyes. So my son had to go through all of this shit. So yes, I threw hot water on him repeatedly.
Did that make him burn?
Yes, it did. His skin came off. His skin came off.
I mean, I don't think it don't, and all y'all gotta do if y'all want to watch the whole thing. I can't watch the whole thing because I get mad and see I was about to tear up and start crying and stuff because that shit really hurt my feelings and it make me mad. And like I said, I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know as a mother what I would have done. But I don't think that I'd have been that extreme. You know, I think I would have just had to just go and break down and just call the police. I would have took my baby in there, let him give his statement, testimony, whatever you want to call it, and just let them be removed out of my house and give them some time to think about it. Because I feel like, you know, they got in the system. Then if I had that much hatred in my heart for them to, the injustice would have been served. I mean, the same thing probably would have happened to them inside the juvenile detention center or something. But I don't think that I could have choke my baby out. I don't see me putting no bag over my. Now, don't get me wrong. If my kids doing some shit they ain't supposed to do, I'm a firm believer in you whoop that ass. Or nowadays, hell, take Fortnite away. You take the electronics away. It's like Kevin Hart on that. I don't know if y'all seen that stand up Kevin Hart, when he's like, he had to take the boy phone, and the boy was like, no daddy, take my legs, take my legs. You take them electronics away from them kids, that hurt worse than an ass whooping. So now I don't even have to physically whoop ass. I give me 15 minutes on the wall, which means put your nose on the wall, put your hands behind your back, and you're gonna stand there 15 minutes, you're gonna think about it. Or bring me that Xbox, bring me that PlayStation, bring me them cell phones, bring me all your little handhelds, bring me whatever it is. Now I take that goddamn hoverboard away. You know, if Kyle mess up, hey, bring me the hoverboard. There's no, take my legs, take my legs. That hurt worse than the ass whooping. So I don't see me going to the extreme of putting a bag over my child head. I don't see me putting a belt around my child neck, lifting neither one of them up, choking them out or something like that. If it came to that point where I feel like I'm gonna fuck around and kill one of these kids, I just call somebody like, hey, can you come and get them? I can't handle this child. Or I'm calling the police or whatever. You need to burp, young man. I'm calling the police or whatever may have you, and just get that child up out my house before I do. Because at the same time, I still got other kids to think about. And so me killing one is gonna take two people. Thank you. It's gonna take two people out of them kids' life. Whoever I kill, and then me, because now I gotta sit here and do life in jail for killing your brother or your sister or something. So I just don't see me doing that, you know. And so I don't really know where she was at in her head. And I'm saying, if like me, I watched it before, and like when we were just listening to that then, I was about to start crying and get all teary eyed and stuff, because shit like that just get to me emotionally. I love my kids too much, but don't get me wrong. I feel like you're supposed to discipline your child if your child is out here fucking up. Don't get me wrong. Spare the rod, spoil the child. A good book say that. But that was just too extreme. That was just too much. What? Like this young man right here. Won't lay down. Won't sit, you know you won't. You won't sit down. You gonna hit me? You just gonna punch me? You just gonna knock mama lights out? You better keep your hands out for me. Been a Mitchelle Blair your ass. That's why I'm starting telling my kids I'm been a Mitchelle Blair your ass. Let me see if I can get these comments to stay up. Okay. And see, and that's what I think too. I think they was left alone a lot too. Because like I said, where did they get this from? I'm got y'all booty out. Like, where would they get that from? You know? And okay, she answered my question about how was Gabrielle exposed to it. Well, she was saying the granddaddy was molesting one of the other girls, and Gabrielle was then came home and said that the granddaddy was in there in the room with him. Now, didn't go into details what he was in the room doing to him or whatnot, but it had to be something traumatizing. So who's to say he didn't mess with her, and then they fucked her up in the head, and she passed it along to Steven. Steven passed it along to she passed it along to Stoney. Stoney passed it along to Steven. And just gonna come in here and throw up on me, huh? And then, they went and started doing it to Maddie. So I don't know. But I just don't see myself killing my kids. Yes, that's crazy. You can go just type in Mitchelle Blair. I got the name on the on the title. Just type in Mitchelle Blair, and all her stuff is gonna pop up. If you want to hear what I was just playing, because like I said, I had to stop it because I was really finna start crying on y'all. Y'all probably seen the tears forming up in my eyes. But that's the Mitchelle Blair sentencing. They got all the news clips and all that stuff on there. So just type in her name and all that stuff is gonna come up. And hopefully tomorrow I've been to put together a little video for y'all as well, just running all of it together and a couple little clips together on it. But that's gonna be after I get the Gypsy Rose stuff up, because I've been real obsessing over this whole Gypsy Rose thing and the hold on, y'all, how do we say it? The Munching House. Did I say it right? Munching House by proxy disease or disorder or whatever. But I had asked y'all a long time ago that y'all want me to do a Mitchelle Blair, because that story right there is really, really, really. The movie Mommy Won't Hurt You, the last time that I was doing, now that's just it's something like the whole Gypsy Rose situation, and it's another example of the mama with the Munching House by proxy disease, disorder, whatever it's classified as. Oh, you watched it? Did you get mad? Cause Tony, that movie made me so mad. That's like this whole, like, I don't understand these mamas. And in over the next couple of weeks, these the kind of ain't no kind of girl out. I was over here pissed off. But over the next couple of weeks, these kind of stories I'm bringing together, like about these parents doing stuff like this to these kids. Hey, you want the rest? Okay, you greedy butt. But if y'all want to know more about the Mitchelle Blair, just type in Mitchelle Blair, because I think they got the full sentencing on there, and it's like an hour or something long for the whole thing. But they got the whole thing on there. Okay, let me see. This the grandmama.
Action for you. First at 6, new developments in the shocking discovery of those 2 children found dead in a freezer.
As police build the case, their mom is charged with child abuse, and tonight a grandmother of one of the kids is answering some of the questions we've all been asking.
7 Action News investigator Jonathan Carlson broke this story on WXYZ.com.
Hey.
Jonathan begins our team coverage live downtown with the latest.
Well, good evening. That mother is going to be facing a judge in the morning. To say that the victim's family is stunned is an understatement. Stony Ann Blair would be 15
I know,
now.
lovely.
Prosecutors
It's
saying she was
sad. It is
13
really,
when her
really
body was
sad.
stuffed in her mother's freezer.
We just went to see,
And it's the
if it was
grandmama.
her or not, and it was.
Blair's grandmother, Linda Dorsey, speaking to Action
You can't
News
see it. My
moments
light
after
shining right
returning
up
from
on
the
it.
morgue, where she and her son identified her granddaughter. The news of what Blair's mother is accused of doing.
I think she's basically sick.
The girl's father,
Not too good at all.
Dorsey, says they hadn't talked to the girl in a long time, and it was because she says they always got the brush off. So your son would go to the house, try to see his daughter, and she would say
That she's going on a sleepover, or she's over a friend's house, or she went somewhere with one of her family members,
but it turns out she was in a freezer.
Exactly.
That's got to be shocking.
Yes, it is.
As far as the family knew, the 2 kids found dead were enrolled in school, but when they were cut off, they did get suspicious.
We always wondered.
But she says her son was afraid to push to see his daughter for fear he might violate custody rules.
He'll just go by her word.
That family also is kin to that 17-year-old girl who was rescued from the home and is now in protective custody. She reportedly had bruises on her body, as well as the other child that was rescued. We're live for you downtown tonight. I'm Jonathan Carlson, 7 Action News.
So they basically saying that now that Mitchelle was beating Gabrielle too. So I like I said, like I keep asking, like, so what the hell was she doing? Gabrielle, that is. And the people talking about they rescued the girl out the home. I I don't feel like they rescuing her out the home because I don't really know where Gabrielle went to. I tried to find her, but at the time she was 17, so basically she was still a minor, and I didn't even find no social media stuff. So maybe if I go back and look now, since it's years later, and she should be, at least 20, 21 or something like that, around her early 20s, that maybe she got, some pages up or something, and I might can go find her and dig around and snoop around and see. But if they took her out of Michelle's Blair house and gave her to the grandmama on the daddy side, and his daddy was the one molesting the other girl, then hell, that wasn't no better home. So Michelle was I think that lady just was fucked up in the head from day one, because she was just beating the hell out of all them kids. Maybe she was just on some shit, and at times really just didn't give a damn. It's some mamas out there that don't care about them kids. They get they little checks, if they on welfare or something, they get them little checks, go spend their checks. They want to go and gamble and get high and party and all that stuff, and the kids looking like who did it and what for. And then when things don't go right in their real world pertaining to, a man or money or just, whatever in their life ain't going right, they come home and they beat their kids. I done seen that in, just too many times, like in real life and in real life stories that I done just read about. Is you still drinking? So they saying that the oldest girl had, bruises and stuff on her too. But see, Michelle don't really talk about the oldest girl too much, and I've always wondered why. Like, why? Hell, for all we know, hell, Michelle could have been the one abusing the oldest girl. I don't know. I'm just saying, for all we know, just hypothetically speaking. So don't quote me on that. Ain't no record of that. But I just feel like this whole story is sick and it's sad. And if y'all want to go and, watch more on it before I do my little mini video on it, then just type in Mitchelle Blair and everything gonna pop up. Her Facebook ain't got that much on there, but she even had a Facebook page, and it's pretty much private unless you're a friend. But you can see like a picture of her when she had her hair all, she had a do did and all that good stuff, you know. But her Facebook don't really give you too much for the one I found that had her name on there, but you can pull that up because I remember pulling it up some years ago. And like I said, I'm gonna go back and see if I can find Gabrielle's page. But it's kind of hard to really find people on Facebook because people be like, Mika making money, taking care of my kids, loving my life, Johnson. You know what I'm saying? And so they ain't just, it's probably not going to be Gabrielle Blair or something. It might be Gabby got away from my crazy ass mama, killed my two siblings, put them in the freezer, Blair type shit. I know it ain't no funny situation, but I'm just saying that's how people are on social media, But if y'all want to go and look into that, because as old as it is, I know it's still a lot of people ain't heard of it. Like, never in the history of niggerdom heard of the two. I think they was calling her the freezer mom. But you could put in Mitchelle Blair or put in the freeze mom or something like that, and it's all gonna come up. So I'm gonna let y'all go and see if I can get Mr. Man to lay down so I can do some work and try to finish getting together these thriller videos, because it's gonna be 12 o'clock. It's gonna be 12 o'clock, and I'm gonna have to lay it down after a while because their funeral is tomorrow. I really ain't in for doing no funerals right now. But you know, we just gotta be there. It is some sick bitches out there in the world, lovely. It truly is. And that lady is one of them. So just type in Mitchelle Blair. Y'all will be up till 3, 4 o'clock in the morning watching them videos on it. But like I said, just on the Citizen, when I watched the Citizen the first time, I cried and I cried and I cried and I cried trying to understand, like, how could you do that? You know what I'm saying? And I know y'all done heard me talk about the woman that I know personally that set the house on fire and left the kids in the bathtub. And you know, like that woman, because I asked her, like that woman was saying, you know, it wasn't meant for the kids. It was meant for the man. But hell, basically the kids was getting on her nerves too. And she basically like, fuck my life, fuck them kids, fuck that man. And she set that house on fire and walked the fuck away and didn't give a fuck no more. And I just hope and just pray that none of us ever get to that point in life that we just give up like that. Because I feel like people that do that type of shit just completely just give up. Like, you ain't got no higher being to pray to or something, and you just giving up. Like, I think I got too much faith in the Lord to just give up like that, you know? Get your butt back in that bed. You know? But I'm gonna let y'all go. And we gonna come back tomorrow, hopefully tomorrow night, and talk some what is it, Munching House by proxy. But I'm gonna put the names of the disorder in the other video in the description. I'm gonna go in and do the description and everything and get all that good stuff together for y'all. And I'll try to go back and snatch some links and put in the description for the Mitchelle Blair case for y'all. So until next time, good night, Felicia, baby. So until next time, y'all, peace.